If you've ever made a bad hire, you are familiar with the pain that comes along with that mistake. It's one of the most negative impacts leaders can have on their business. Today's quick tip is all about how to hire and promote the best talent. No leader is immune to making hiring mistakes. It happens to the best of us. Getting to the root of a person in only a handful of conversations can be extremely difficult. During the interview process, most people are a ball of nerves, even the ones who already know us, and they may not present their best. And others are con artists who have lied all over their resume and are hoping that we fall for it. It says here you have experience in airplane repossession? When interviewing candidates you've never met before, dig into these 3 specific areas to learn the most about how they might fit into your current environment. A new hire will either improve or detract from your current culture. Your goal should be to find out if they will make your current team better. Here are the 3 areas: ego, skills and learning agility, and values. Let's start with ego. As a leader, a giant ego is a deal breaker, and group interviews will give this away pretty quickly when a candidate clearly thinks that they're the smartest person in the room. If a candidate lacks the ability to demonstrate humility, this is a red flag. You want to hire individuals who understand and work well with a team, unless they'll be working alone, which is rare these days. Trying to teach somebody how to be a team player can be exhausting. If they're only out for themselves and you are looking for somebody to help your overall team improve, a person with a giant ego will not be the right fit. Sure, an individual contributor could meet your current needs, but if you want your talent to continue to grow and help your greater team in the future, hiring somebody who lacks teachability will give you a lot of headaches down the road. So how can you uncover an inflated ego? You can ask for stories about a difficult peer interaction. You could ask about what somebody's most proud of, or you could ask about one's biggest learns working in a group setting. Egomaniacs can't help but talk about how great they are and how all success attributed to them and nobody else. Now, let's talk about skills and learning agility. Most leaders are hiring for roles that require a specific skill set. It's obviously a plus if a team member already possesses the skill required for a specific role. The question for the leader is whether you want them to already have the skill prior to onboarding, or is it a skill that can be taught and is better to be taught in the way that your workplace needs it to be done. For example, if you're looking for an accountant, it's likely you want them to already have the skill set. It requires certifications and education, and so you will want to ask questions pertaining to their experience with this particular skill set. I also suggest bringing along somebody who is already proficient in the skill that is required, if you yourself as a leader are not. I couldn't tell you the first thing about accounting. And as I mentioned earlier, there might be some skills that can be easily taught, and your company already has the resources in place to host the training. For example, if you're hiring somebody on as a technician and already have a technician onboarding program, you may just need to dive into the individual's problem-solving ability to uncover whether they have the learning agility to be in such a role. The last and really important area to dig into during an interview is values. This may sound irrelevant, but leaders should always be thinking about their culture and how to cultivate and protect it. If you've invested in developing a culture of teamwork and a place where people are safe to make mistakes and learn together, bringing somebody in who wants to win at whatever the cost could disrupt that culture. Learning what drives individuals will help you uncover how they might integrate with your existing culture. If inclusion is an important value in your culture, you would not want to bring somebody on who seems to lack respect for women. It would go against your company values. Uncovering values in an interview can be a challenge, but you can ask questions such as, what values are most important to you in a workplace and why? This way you aren't feeding answers to a candidate. They will have to speak from their own thoughts and experiences. Maybe you've developed a culture of honesty and feedback, and something they said sounded a bit off. Dig into it more specifically. You might ask, you mentioned that you tend to be a people pleaser. Can you tell me about a time when you had to address conflict head on, and how did it go? Asking questions about what they've done will give you tremendous insight as to what you are getting into. Be careful not to make hiring decisions solely on either passion or potential. Passion is incredibly important, but if somebody is not teachable, passion can become a barrier where an individual digs in their heels on unnecessary issues, wasting time and energy from forward progress. Potential is great, but a leader needs to know whether a candidate has the willingness to act on their potential, and they should be able to share moments that demonstrate when they have. As far as promotions go, the same 3 filters of ego, skills, and values apply. However, I might add one more: influence. Often promotions are relevant to a more mentor leadership type capacity. And if a candidate is ready for a promotion, they will have the stories to back it up. Influence, though, is often a story told by others about the candidate. If others are sharing about how much they're learning from a potential candidate, this is a good indicator that they could be successful in their new role. People respect them and grow when they're around. If it's on the opposite end, where other team members strongly dislike or don't respect the candidate, the leader should be wary because it's probably for a reason. If the candidate doesn't have influence with their current team, it's highly probable they they will struggle to motivate that very team to do great work. Influence is difficult to teach. If a candidate isn't demonstrating a healthy level of influence, be careful with moving forward with a promotion. One last thing, as you interview internal candidates for promotion, help them work through their nerves before you jump into the interview. Have some fun banter before getting into business. Help them to be as comfortable as possible so they feel confident that they showed up as their best. Woo! That was a lot. But a bad hire is the most costly mistake a leader can make. It will drain you of time, money, and energy. Spending the extra time to get great at hiring will make all of the difference in your company and your culture. But every once in a while, somebody might sneak past you. There are some great actors out there. Don't beat yourself up too bad. Just address the issue as quickly as possible. When leaders hire and promote great talent, our teams will enjoy coming to a place where they can do their best work alongside other incredible people. If the leader does this right, they will create a place where people build their best and most meaningful relationship. That's your leadership quick tip.